Subscribe to the Robert channel right now so you never miss these simple yet heartwarming stories from the mountains. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Robert channel. Today there's no drama, no sad tears, just a most peaceful day in Robert's life. He goes into the forest to dig fresh bamboo shoots for his mother, finds an injured little squirrel, rescues it, brings it home, bandages it, takes care of it, and then sits down with his mom for a simple meal overflowing with happiness. From the dirt-covered bamboo shoots still fresh from the earth, to the tiny squirrel sleeping warmly under a blanket, to Mrs. Len's gentle smile and Robert's tender eyes. This chapter will make you believe that the truest love is found in the smallest, simplest things in this vast life. Hit subscribe to Robert right now and step with us into this forest full of kindness. Early morning in a highland village of northwest Vietnam. The sky is still misty. The last chill of winter slips through every leaf. A cool breeze carries the scent of damp earth, rotting leaves, and the faint lingering fragrance of late-season plum blossoms. Robert wakes before the roosters crow, as he does every day, but today there's a quiet joy in his heart. For the past few days, Mrs. Len has had a dry cough and mentioned how much she misses stir-fried bamboo shoots with garlic and chili, the dish his late father used to dig up for her. She said, "Bamboo shoots this season are so sweet. Stir-fried. They warm the stomach and ease the cough." Robert smiled his usual gentle smile and answered at once, "Don't worry, Mom. Today I'll go to the forest and dig a whole bunch. I'll cook them for you till you're full." Mrs. Len stroked her son's head, eyes shining. "My boy is all grown up and still spoils his mom like this. I'm so happy." He put on the old padded jacket Mai had mended for him, shoulders worn thin. His faded black trousers, the wool cap Mai knitted, grabbed his sharp curved knife and sturdy bamboo basket, and stepped out of the stilt house while dew still clung white to the thatched roof. Before leaving, he turned back and whispered to his mother sitting by the kitchen fire, "Stay warm by the fire, Mom. I'll be back soon. Tonight you'll have stir-fried bamboo shoots with hot rice." Mrs. Len nodded, smiling softly. "Be careful, son. The forest is wet and slippery." Robert walked the familiar narrow trail deep into the forest where ancient clumps of bamboo and rattan grew thick, where winter bamboo shoots pushed up in abundance beneath layers of fallen leaves. He walked more than 2 kilometers, his old rubber sandals flapping on the stony path, but his steps were steady, and he even hummed a little Ty folk tune his mother had taught him as a child. When he reached a spot, he knelt down and carefully dug around the bases with his knife. One by one, tender shoots appeared, still covered in light brown husks dusted with soil, their tips fresh green like jade. He dug them gently, wiped the dirt off with his calloused hands, and placed them in the basket, whispering to himself, "This big one will be perfect stir-fried with garlic and chili. Mom will love it. This small pretty one will make a nice sour soup. Once Mom eats them, her cough will surely go away." He had nearly half a basket, sweat pouring down his face, shirt soaked, but the smile never left his lips. He pictured Mrs. Len sitting by the fire, crunching on the crispy shoots, praising her son's skill, and saying, "My boy digs bamboo shoots even better than your father did." Just imagining it warmed his heart in a way nothing else could. While happily digging his 15th shoot or so, a faint rustling came from the bushes nearby. Robert stopped and looked up. A tiny squirrel, Fluffy gray fur, round shining eyes, limped out from the undergrowth. Its right back leg dragged behind, a fresh bleeding wound clearly visible. Probably stabbed by sharp thorns or attacked by a bird of prey, the little creature stopped a few steps away, trembling from cold and pain, eyes looking at him, half terrified, half pleading. It had no strength left to run and simply curled up under the fallen leaves, breathing heavily. Robert, the mountain man who had loved animals since childhood because Mrs. Len always taught him, animals have souls too. They feel pain, hunger, and cold just like us. We must love them as we love people. Knelt down slowly and spoke as gently as if to a child. Hey little squirrel, don't be afraid. I won't hurt you. The squirrel shrank back, eyes wary, but didn't flee, probably too weak. Robert took a leftover piece of sticky rice cake from his pocket, broke it into crumbs, and placed it a hand's width away. Eat, little one, so you'll have strength. Don't be scared. The squirrel sniffed, then slowly came closer and ate hungrily. Never taking its eyes off him, Robert stayed perfectly still, smiling. Eat up, I'll wait. When it finished, he reached out slowly, picked it up gently. It struggled a little at first from fear, but the pain made it settle down. He examined the wound. A deep gash on the back leg, swollen and still bleeding. Robert wrapped it temporarily with his clean handkerchief, then carefully slipped the squirrel into the inner pocket of his jacket to keep it warm, whispering, "Hang in there. I'm taking you home. My mom will fix you right up." He stopped digging chutes and hurried back, basket still full. But now his thoughts were only for the tiny trembling creature against his chest. When he reached the stilt house, Mrs. Len saw her son rushing in, clothes wet with mist. "Robert, you're back early. Where are the chutes?" Robert grinned. "They're right here in the basket, Mom. But I brought home a friend who needs help even more." He gently took the squirrel out and placed it on the wooden table. It curled up, eyes wide with fear. Mrs. Len startled, then smiled warmly, eyes lighting up. "Oh, the poor little thing. It's hurt. Let's save it together, son." Mrs. Len, a 70-year-old woman who loved animals like her own children, quickly fetched the forest herbs she always kept ready, mint leaves, mugwort, crushed them with coarse salt and applied the poultice to the wound. Robert brought clean gauze and saline, gently cleaned the injury. The squirrel squirmed in pain and nipped his hand lightly, but Robert didn't flinch, only whispered, "Just a little longer, buddy. It hurts now, but you'll be okay." "I'm not mad." Mrs. Len fed grains of cold rice one by one. It ate greedily and gradually stopped being afraid, its eyes sparkling as if thanking them. They placed the squirrel in an old wooden box lined with dry straw and soft cloth, right beside the stove in Robert's room to keep it warm. Robert added a bowl of clean water, some roasted corn kernels and tender young leaves for it to nibble. At first it was shy, but feeling the warmth and genuine kindness, it began eating comfortably and even hopped lightly inside the box, making soft chattering sounds as if talking to Robert. He laughed. "You're getting strong already. In a few days I'll release you back to the forest. But promise you'll come visit me, okay?" As the day grew colder, mother and son laughed and chatted happily around the little squirrel. Forgetting they were even hungry, Robert went to clean the bamboo shoots, washing each one in the icy stream, slicing them, and parboiling them to remove bitterness. Back at the stove, He stir-fried them with fresh garlic and chili, adding a little lean wild pork. The fragrance filled the entire stilt house. Their simple dinner was just the two of them. A steaming plate of golden stir-fried bamboo shoots, bowls of fragrant sticky rice, boiled wild greens with fish sauce dip, and a small dish of stewed stream fish, plain and modest. Yet smiles never left their faces. Mrs. Lan took a bite of the shoots and beamed. So delicious, son. Perfectly crisp and sweet. It reminds me of when your father used to dig them. Robert added more to her bowl. Eat lots, Mom. I dug a whole basket. Tomorrow I'll make sour bamboo shoot soup for you, Mrs. Lan looked at her son, eyes shining. Having a son like you makes me so happy. And you even saved this little squirrel. I'm so proud of you. The meal was warm. Laughter echoing through the stilt house. The fire crackling, the wind whistling outside. Simple, quiet peace. No noise, no show. Only deep mother-son love and kindness that extended even to a tiny creature. That night, before sleeping, Robert quietly checked on the squirrel. It was curled up in the little blanket Mrs. Lan had sewn, the swelling already going down. Eyes bright and no longer afraid when they met his, Robert sat down and whispered, "Good night, little friend. Tomorrow I'll change your bandage. Soon you'll be healed and jumping on high branches again." Happy in the green forest, the squirrel made a soft chirping sound as if answering, then fell fast asleep. Robert smiled, turned off the oil lamp, lay down on his wooden bed, and felt an extraordinary warmth in his heart after a day filled with love, from the dirt-clinging forest bamboo shoots, to the tiny squirrel rescued deep in the woods, to the simple dinner overflowing with mother-son love. Today became one of the most beautiful days in Robert's humble life. Today's lesson: happiness doesn't have to be grand. A basket of bamboo shoots for Mom, a little squirrel saved, and a peaceful night's sleep under the stilt house roof. That's already enough to make this life feel infinitely precious. If this chapter touched your heart, please hit like, share, and subscribe to Robert right now so we can keep walking together through these beautiful mountain life stories. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for loving us.